This is Lex. Welcome to your next module, Tracking and Getting Results. This is one of the most overlooked areas on the admissions process. And I've been doing video webinars for almost 10 years now, nationally. And one of the most popular video segments that I ever did was on this particular module, on tracking and conversions. Now, many schools do not track conversions. And what do I mean by that? They don't track activity and conversions both. Activity, of course, is what activities are created during a single business day, a week, a month, a quarter, etc. And activities that need to be tracked. And we have a special paper for you as well, a special attachment for this. Very, very helpful, very powerful piece. You want to track these activities. Number one, leads. How many leads come in daily? You want to track how many contacts are made. You want to track how many appointments are created, how many people show for their tour, and how many people apply each day. Those are 5 different areas to track. And as someone one time said, if you don't track it, you can't fix it. And what we do by tracking what I call all of the moving parts in the admissions process, you can then determine in any given time, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, whatever it may be, what areas of your admissions process are working and successful, and what areas need continued support and development. For example, when you have this raw data, that's your activity for the day. Then you want to look at what the conversions are of that activity and compare it to the conversions nationally. You never want to be below average, of course, and you really always want to be way above average. But to give you some ideas on what the national averages are, and again, there's a range depending upon the type of school and what area of the country and your lead quality as well. But the minimum range is, on average, is 50% lead to appointment set. So basically, most schools, if they have 100 leads come in, then 50 of those end up creating an appointment. That's with an average person, an average admissions process. Out of those 50 appointments that are created in an average school, 25% of them come in to tour your school. Out of those 25 people that come in to tour your school, again, the next average is 50% of people on average will apply to your school. So you'll have about 12 to 13 applications off that many leads, say if there were 100 leads. That's your average. Now, when you track your own numbers, you can then compare each of those moving parts to the average to make sure, number one, you're not below it, and ideally, you are above each of those numbers. For example, ideally, for appointment setting, from lead to appointment set, you would like to be no lower than 65%. And I have schools that have taken my trainings that are doing as high as 80 to 85%, and even 90% appointment setting. 90%, true story. Now, when it comes to show rates, same thing. Instead of 50%, I encourage you to be looking at 60 to 65% to 70% show rates. They may seem very high, maybe compared to what you're doing presently, but utilizing all of the principles in this training, you will be able to achieve those rates. If and only if you integrate all of the training. Sometimes people will say, well, I want to use this and this and this. This makes sense, but this seems a little strange or a little much or whatever it may be. And I say, just like if you go to a doctor will tell you to take this, this, and this, and you'll get better. And then if you only take this, instead of this, this, and this, you go back to the doctor and say, oh, but doctor, I didn't get any better. And the doctor said, well, did you take this, this, and this? And I said, no, I just took this because I just thought it was better. No, the doctor knew what was helpful for your health. And through the many, many years of experience in all the schools I've worked with, I know what will help you to be successful with your school. And getting back to the metrics part of it, because when you track, you then know quantifiably how you're doing. You're not wondering, well, I think we're doing pretty well. It seems like everyone's showing for their tours. And when you look at it, maybe 30% of people are showing. So if you track these numbers daily, and we include a special, very simple to use Excel spreadsheet in this module, that if you utilize, it'll only take you about 2 minutes per day as a single admissions person to fill these out. And it will be profoundly helpful and powerful so you know exactly what area you're doing well in. For example, you may be doing great in appointment setting. Maybe you have a 70% appointment setting rate, but your show rate, people showing for your appointments, is maybe only 35%. Now you know the area that you need to focus on and get continued support and training with. Or maybe many people are coming into tour. Maybe you have a 65% tour rate, appointments to tour, but only 27% of people are applying. Then you know exactly the area you can use continued support and training and development in. If you can't track it, you can't fix it. Any questions, as always, feel free to email us, and I look forward to seeing you in our next module.